Hi everyone, welcome to Words for Mental Health. This is a no-frill mental health advocacy platform where we speak about the actual nitty-gritties and nuances of mental health, and we touch upon subjects that are not really touched upon in the mainstream mental health conversation. Today we have a guest with us, Mrs. Hina Gugnani. She is a men's mental health advocate, a very fiercely men's mental health advocate in a very good way, and then she's also a psychologist. She is here today to speak with us about her lived experience of prepartum depression and then also the caregiving that followed as a part of her life's journey for her child. So today we are going to get into the nitty-gritties of that conversation. Welcoming you, Hina. How are you today?
Thank you so much, Srishti. I'm really doing great, and I'm glad that you choose to record this podcast on this day of
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, this would be a nice experience for me because I have never talked about this thing particularly with anyone. Looking forward to
Hmm.
it.
Hmm. I am so privileged that you chose to speak about this with me the first time, essay out in the open. Very grateful. Hmm.
I chose the right person, I think.
Thank you so much for saying that. So, I think today, if we see you, when we see your work, we don't get to see this other side. I have been following your work since I think 3 years now, possibly since the pandemic. And I never knew you were a caregiver, you know. And this is something I found out about you recently. And I think caregiving पे हम second step में आएंगे. First step में let's talk about your lived experiences of having postpartum depression. Let's start with the pregnancy journey. How was it for you? And then let's get into the postpartum depression part of it. Okay.
Right.
So, yes, if you can tell us how were the 9 months for you?
Actually, I never lived the 9 months period because it was, 7 months pregnancy, and my baby is a extreme preemie baby, 28 weeker. So it was only 28 weeks pregnancy, and it was fine in the initial 2 3 months, because I had a miscarriage before this, and we took time to replan a pregnancy and everything. And after that, suddenly things started changing 6 months ke baad. Then it was very tough for me because my body was giving up, and internally I was feeling like I don't know what is happening because of some things happened with the doctor. They changed medicines or something happened, and my BP was like 220 plus. Like it boost up like this in 1 or 2 weeks, and then we were told that we need to remove the baby will not survive, the mother will not be alive, and this gave me so much trauma, that I was like kuch nahi ho sakta ab, there will be nothing, it's gone. But glad I got the support of my husband and mother and other family members, and then got a very good doctor. We shifted there. Then I lived in ICU for 5 6 days, and on the third day afternoon, my baby was delivered through C-section, and he was immediately shifted to an ICU. Like he was not even 1 kg; he was 770 grams, this much only. And after that, I was also unconscious. I never see him, just a glimpse of him when he was out, and I never saw him. After 5 days, I saw him, and then again, I was unconscious. And then immediately, if you see, the motherhood started with trauma. Those 2 months when he was in an ICU, from the birth to the delivery, his discharge, sorry, and I was like on.
Really? So sorry to cut you off. Um, I think I've never seen a lot of people speak in the mainstream about the mental health implications of just going through a miscarriage, you know? So, can you
Yeah.
tell us about that period and what happened and how did you just survive that experience. Because I think when we speak of motherhood, there is just this very rosy picture of, planning a family, the entire family being excited, having a kid, doing the puja, and
Yeah.
it's a very straightforward process. But I
Right.
think miscarriages are more common than we realize. They are um, pretty
Yes.
scarring, emotionally for the family. And it is not something I've seen at all in the mainstream conversation. Thank you so much for being open enough to bring that part of your journey up. So, what happened at that time, and how did you and your family cope up with it?
See, it was like very initial days of my marriage. Like you can say that maybe 2, 3 months, and I got to know that I'm pregnant, and we were so happy. But it was very short-term pregnancy, like 1.5 month or so, almost 2 months, you can say. And I don't know what right now, if I need to get pregnant again, I go back to that miscarriage, that my body is not able to carry a baby. Because after that, what happened with my preemie baby? So it gave me a question mark for whole life on my own body. That scar never gone away. Still, it is there, and I cry sometimes when I go back to those memories. I don't know what happened. Everything was going good and everything was smooth. I was having all the symptoms of a pregnant lady, and I was so fine. Physically, also, I was very fit at that time. But one day we went to a follow-up appointment, and the doctor said that it's nothing is there. It's just, the baby is not growing. It's just particles or something like that. And they took it away. That process was more traumatic. If you talk about the delivering premature baby, it is still like the baby is with me,
You're
but
freezing up. I'm not able to hear you. Can I lost you there. I lost you there.
oh,
You were
oh, I
so
was
sorry.
talking. I don't,
It
no problem, no problem. Can
was
you hear
freezing
me
up.
now?
Yes, I can hear you. You're talking about
Okay.
just the process that came up.
Yeah. So see, I was saying that at that time, what happened was I was pregnant, everything was normal, all the symptoms, everything was going smooth. That okay, we are finally pregnant, and then I got married in such age, 29 plus, that we were okay to start a family immediately after marriage. We both were fine with this. So I don't know what happened. Doctor said that things are changing inside your body. It's not developing, and it's just particles, or I don't know what should I say in correct words, because that thing I heard and I ran away from there. I was like devastated ki, kya ho gaya ye? What happened? And after that, the process of removing those things, and that was more traumatic to me. I was saying that this premature baby delivery is not that traumatic. That memory is more traumatic because it gave me that, that एक बच्चे को कैरी नहीं कर पाया, right? So that was just the memory, and then this process happened. After that, I was like, so like, I will not say depressed, I was very sad. I was like, no, ऐसा नहीं होना था. This is not right. For 5, 6 months, I was like, we shifted to a new place, and my husband and the family was trying to, make me ready to, replan a baby or something. I was not ready. I even don't talk about that thing. I never wanted to go back to that thing. फिर से वही हो गया तो, that डर. What if? Then after 6, 7 months, I was like, okay, now we can think about it. But
I have a
still,
question.
that yes,
So I think here one thing is that ki the way we deal with these situations, it's like कोई नहीं आगे बढ़ो, you know.
हाँ,
That is the messaging. I mean वो messaging का packaging अलग अलग हो सकता है, okay?
हाँ,
But if people are immediately jumping to कोई नहीं हो गया आगे बढ़ो, कोई नहीं हो गया next plan कर लो, I think that
yes,
conversation does not create space for अभी जो बीती है उसके लिए उन भावनाओं
Yes,
के लिए जगह है हमारी लाइफ में, बताओ हमें, हमसे बात करो.
yes,
So
we need to process it.
exactly. So and we process things when we
Yes,
have that social support. मतलब तो इस टाइम
right.
पे जब लोगों ने ये बोलना शुरू किया कि प्लान योर सेकेंड चाइल्ड, तब आपके मन में क्या चल रहा था एंड आपने कैसे कोप अप किया, एंड उस टाइम पे आपके स्पाउस का एटीट्यूड कैसा था?
See, as you said, packaging अलग हो सकती है. The message was this, even from my own family, not from only in-laws and other relatives and friends, but it was like, in my case, it was like my spouse was and is always on my side. I don't know, I'm blessed with this thing that he was like, no, we don't, even he was like, we don't want it right now. We were very clear, and everyone else wanted. Everyone else, like it's their baby and we don't have to do anything in it. And me and my husband, I am telling you now, we shifted to a new place and he created those boundaries. No one should enter in this space to tell us that what we have to do next in our marriage, in our relationship. There and then, since then till now, we have that, those boundaries with us. And the day we feel like we were talking randomly and we feel like that, okay, now we can start and thinking about it, and if my body is healthy we can get a check and then we can go about it, right? uh, like immense support that only gave me the courage to think about things in a positive way. Otherwise I was like, that everyone is pressurizing me, that that normal that pressure every female feels at my place, that aapko karna hi hai ye, you are the one who has not been able to survive with that baby, and so many other things which are not supposed to be said on a platform like this, but so many other things.
Like, आप
But with
आपको
the support,
बोलना चाहिए, आपको बोलना चाहिए, डेफिनेटली टेल अस. ये प्लेटफॉर्म एक ऐसा प्लेटफॉर्म है
yeah,
that we are trying to create is where we say things that are not said,
yeah,
you know. तो
yes, see, when
बताइए.
you're saying this, like, see, in again, I am like lucky that my in-laws were not like that कि pressure होता है आपको ये करना है. Some similar things happened with one of my friend, and these things I have heard from her, no, that it gave me trauma. My mother-in-law and my father-in-law, my mother, they were not saying anything, but the things she was listening from her in-laws, no, it gave me the pressure that okay, it gave me that that fear, अगर मेरे साथ ऐसा हो गया तो, अगर मुझे लोगों ने ऐसा कहा तो, she was like even being forced to have a baby soon, as soon as possible, otherwise she will be sent back to her her mother's place, right? So these kind of things scare females. These kind of things, give us like something similar, like when you're giving birth to a female child and not to a male child, and so what is the outline with the pregnancy thing, that आपको एक healthy बच्चा पैदा करना है, आपको एक मेल चाइल्ड पैदा करो, पहला बच्चा मेल होगा तो बहुत अच्छा होगा, आपकी इज्जत होगी फैमिली में. These kind of things I have heard around. मेरे घर पे ऐसा कुछ नहीं हो रहा, बट मुझे सुनने को मिल रहा है तो मुझे ऐसा लग रहा है कि वो मुझे भी डरा रही है कि यार तेरे साथ हो गया तो दीज थिंग्स गिव मी दैट फियर. नहीं, मुझे करना ही नहीं है ये, मुझे जाना ही नहीं है इस ट्रैक पे, राइट? बट व्हेन आई गॉट द सपोर्ट ऑफ माय इन-लॉज, माय फैमिली, मुझे लगा कि नहीं, एक्चुअल में ऐसा नहीं है, आई एम प्रोजेक्टिंग समवन एल्सेस सिचुएशन, एंड जो मेरे आसपास होता है दूसरी औरतों के साथ, वो मैं सोच रही हूँ. When slowly I processed it and came out of it, then I think of my spouse helped me a lot with that.
Right. um how is your friend doing now? How are things for her in the present? I
Hmm.
hope she's okay. You're frozen again.
She's
Hello.
fine because she gave birth to a male child.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
video is freezing. Just give me 1 minute. I'll just check. Picking up our conversation, we were speaking that okay, so she had a male child, and so now she's doing fine. Um,
Yeah.
But the entire journey of the experience of family planning was definitely something that we would count as very impactful in a very negative sense,
Yes.
emotionally, mentally, and then ultimately the message that is being reinforced in the female psyche, it is कोई बात नहीं, लड़का पैदा हो गया ना, तो अब तो सब स्वार्थ
हाँ,
है, सब स्वार्थ है,
हाँ, सब
लेकिन
ठीक है। हाँ,
एक almost that glorification of suffering and like a very specific reward जो culturally sanctioned होता है,
हुँ,
so coming back to your journey, uh, so उस time पे your husband was supportive and he was very very protective of the space and the relationship that the
yes,
two of you have, that this is just us, this is our life, this is our choices, and no third person will dictate our choices. And I think that is a message, a takeaway for more and more males when you're supporting, if you want to have a good marriage,
yes,
if you want to um, live a good life where your marital relationship is actually strong. In situations where your family or society is creating the pressure on the female, please protect the marriage, protect the space that the two of you share. It is
definitely.
sacred. Protect it like it's
Right,
sacred. Yeah. Okay.
right.
Okay. So now coming back, to what you were saying. Um, After this, then you were talking about the journey of uh 7 months, and then your so in this process, what happened to all the experiences? I can imagine that your second pregnancy must have been very, very scary for you emotionally, mentally, and that.
Yeah, yeah. Actually,
Mm.
Srishti, if I will say now, I was not even aware that I am pregnant for almost 2 months. I was not aware that, okay, I thought maybe if I'm, not having my cycles, then there is something internally is wrong, right? Suddenly one day, I thought to, you know, talk to my gynec and then get an appointment. And then I got to know that, okay, I'm pregnant. And I was like, more than, मतलब happiness is there, happiness थी, but डर था. What will happen now? First conversation, me and my husband, I was far, I was at my mother place when I got to know this, and I called my husband immediately from the hospital, and first conversation we had was like this: we will survive this baby, we will survive this baby, that's it, that's it, nothing else. Like वो डर था, but वो धीरे धीरे चला गया because I got positive environment and all the love and support. तो internally कहीं ना कहीं वो रहा है throughout. When this pregnancy was difficult, when I was not able to eat anything, when I'm not able to do things much, when my body was not showing up the symptoms, like my tummy was not that much jitna hota hai 5 6 7 months mein. My friends coming to meet me and in the society, they were saying that you don't look that months pregnant. That scared me कि कुछ तो गलत हो रहा है internally and my doctor is not telling me कुछ तो है. But she said everything is fine, baby is breathing, everything, heartbeat is fine, सब कुछ ठीक चल रहा है. Suddenly जो हुआ, from that day to my delivery, I was like in different phase because I was swelled up like this, and 220 plus BP. You can imagine how it would be. Doctors was telling me that you will be, burst out. You know, you're like a bomb. You will burst. Take care of yourself. And when I was in ICU for 5 days, वो अलग ही experience था. फिर he got he got life and he was fine. The baby was fine. He cried when he was out. So I was like, chalo, he's fine now. The doctors will take care of him. But I was not sure that I will be, alive again or not till that time. That period of fighting with your life, but you want to save the baby also, and your husband want you to be alive. He don't want anything else. So those dilemmas and those decisions were very hard on me also and on him also. That period we live like, अम, मतलब जंग जीत के आए हैं कोई, ऐसा लगता था. दैट वाज लाइक दैट. या.
Hmm. Do you recollect your time in the ICU? Is that something you recollect?
Yes.
But you're able to remember that experience?
Yeah.
Hmm. What were your thoughts in that period?
See, when I was in, from the very first day when we went into that Cloud9 hospital, Gurgaon, I was like assured that I will be alive, my baby will be fine, because there I saw many kids getting discharged, and many parents were there where I got counsel at the very first reception pay. They were like, "Ma'am, your in ultrasound, your baby is 700 plus grams." Exact नहीं पता था उनको, but it was 700 plus grams. This baby, which just got discharged, ये 500 some grams की थी. देखो अब ठीक है. I was
Hmm.
like assured कि यहाँ पे हम ठीक रहेंगे. That was the thing. वो assurance आया पहले तो, but था डर था, बहुत सारी confusions थी कि हमारे साथ ऐसा क्यों हो रहा है. पहला तो ये. Right.
Hmm.
And then when I was in when I was in ICU, my mother was outside. She was not allowed inside. Only my husband was coming in. He was seeing me. He was sitting by my side. जितना time allowed था 5-10 minutes, and then he went out. And then I don't know. I was very scared in that environment. Like दूसरे साइड पे मदर्स आ रही हैं, डिलीवरी हो रही है, वो जा रही हैं, बस सब नॉर्मल चल रहा है. Am I the odd one? Why God choose me for this thing? But then, there was one sister. That staff is very good. That Cloud9 Hospital, very great staff. They gave me very much, emotional support also. She said that, "Ma'am, you are brave." Those lines I still remember. She said, "Ma'am, you are brave enough. That's why God chose you. These are the normal people. You have that strength in you. That's why God sent a special kid for you, because He knows you can, um, you can carry this baby, and you can just make him thrive in this world." Same things. When my husband came in, like मैं बार बार उनको बुलाती थी, मतलब किसी ना किसी एक्सक्यूज से, लाइक अभी ये देने आ जाओ, अभी ऐसे आ जाओ. बट हाफ ऑफ द टाइम आई वाज अनकॉन्शियस. अब मुझे पता नहीं क्या हो रहा है. वो आते थे, बस वो मुझे देखते थे, मिलते थे, प्यार करते थे, चले जाते थे. बस मुझे इतना याद है. इसके अलावा मुझे कुछ याद ही नहीं है. लाइक माई मदर इज आउटसाइड. इतना पता है कि आई वाज गोइंग फॉर अल्ट्रासाउंड. माई मदर केम टू सी मी इन द लिफ्ट, एंड शी वाज लाइक, कुछ नहीं होगा तुझे, तू मेरी बेटी है, कुछ नहीं होगा तुझे. एंड सी, एवरीवन वाज गिविंग स्ट्रेंथ, you know so those things helped me a lot, and those words were in my head that, okay, i'll I'll get through this. I can do this. So I just hold these words with me. And when I came out again, I was unconscious. I told you that baby was in ICU. I saw him. He was this much, and he was full of wires and everything. That incubator. I was like, what is this? ऐसे तो नहीं होता है motherhood start. Questioning every step, everything which was happening at that time. And I know this we should talk about later, but I want to add on this thing. While sitting outside that NICU with those C-section stitches on every single day from the time I came out of ICU, I was sitting next to my baby or outside the NICU, because we have to be there. I have to pump milk for him every 2 hours. He have to, get milk. And my husband was going to work. Me and my mother was there. I was seeing babies getting discharged. सबके prams जा रहे हैं, सबकी cars ready हो रही हैं, parents आ रहे हैं. I was seeing mothers denying to see their baby because they are going through extreme postpartum depression. They were not able to handling those trauma. They were like, हमसे नहीं होता. 2, 3 mothers I have seen. Like, I have seen mothers losing their babies inside. I have seen babies losing their mother. I was like, मम्मी कब पीछा छूटेगा इस सब से? कब घर जाएंगे हम? मेरा बच्चा कब घर जाएगा? So all of these things, ना, when I recollect, those memories were like, आप खाना खा रहे हो पर आप खाना नहीं खा रहे हो. आपका ध्यान ये है कि अरे बच्चे का टाइम होने वाला है मिल्क का, एंड देयर इज नॉट इनफ मिल्क इनसाइड the ICU. You need to go there. You need to do that. You need to sit by his side. From the very first day I saw the baby, I was doing this, Gayatri month chanting by his side every single day. Whenever I go inside, जितनी बार जाती थी उतनी बार यही करती थी, because I believe in that thing. And what I was doing is, I thought maybe some strength he will get. And he was like, itna sa tha, tab bhi he was like moving all of his body parts and everything. And those incubator was for 1 2 days, and he was like, doing extremely great. Just that weight gain was the thing. He was not having any other health issues, just that weight gain, because they discharge babies at 1.5. But he was gaining very slow. आज 10 ग्राम बढ़ रहा है, कल 20 ग्राम बढ़ रहा है, and every day was a, you know, आज कितना बढ़ा. My husband at the office, because उनको हमने भेज दिया था काम पे, because for a middle class, couple, it's necessary to resume the work, and he can't just sit there. And he was coming back from office.
Sometimes, when, especially because from what I understand, you and your husband were in a long distance situation even then. So,
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes the partner resuming work might, I think there are different types of people. One type can be that the parenthood part is too overwhelming, so the partner is escaping into work. That is also one possibility. Second part is genuinely, you are middle class, you have limited resources. If you don't show up to work, it will reflect on, I mean, employers are not ideal. Most employers, ये
Yes,
बहुत ही कम
yes.
employers होंगे जिनका policy ऐसा है जहाँ पे maternal leave तो फ्री देते नहीं है लोग. Paternal
हाँ,
leave,
paternal
I
तो कहीं
really
देंगे.
very far away.
Right.
It's a very far away
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I think that in some couples, it can also cause that distress that my partner did not show up for me at that time.
yeah.
Mhm. What do you think about that? Have you ever seen that happen?
No, actually, my husband was working in India only at that time. So what? Yeah, we are from Haryana. So we were in Gurgaon Cloud9 Hospital for the baby only, for getting my delivery smoothly. We heard from a family friend that it's a good place, and then my husband shifted me there, and he was there every single day. He was working, like, this we can talk some other day. That was my inspiration to start men's mental health, right? Because see, everybody was loving me, everybody was around me, that okay, take care of yourself, take care of the baby, calling and asking about my health and my baby's health. Nobody was asking was his health. And he was showing up to work. We were living in a guest house, me, my mother, and my husband. He was going to work. He was coming back to from work to hospital, seeing the baby, making sure he's fine, taking us, both of us, mom and me, to the guest house, and then again same cycle start for him. Some days he was eating, some days he was not even eating. He was just doing all of this because we were genuinely out of resources. As you said, we were genuinely needy because we are middle class. We still are. That's why we're sitting far from our, homes. That's why we're sitting in other country. Otherwise, we don't like to go far from the country. This is the thing, and the support I got from him was not even expected enough. I was expecting thoda kam, but it was immense. Yes, because he was seeing me struggling. Yes, that gave me that smile every other day when I see him. Like, when I was in ICU, he was with the baby. He recorded his videos and showed me that देख वो ठीक कर रहा है, वो ठीक है, तू भी जल्दी से खड़ी हो, बाहर चल, उसको तेरी जरूरत है. You are the strength our family have. He always pushed me, right? And after that also, he was like every single day he was waking up for the baby. He was doing everything, from nappies to that milk, and for giving him burp, and everything he was doing till now also. He is with the baby when I'm recording this. Yes, that's that kind of support I never saw. Like I never saw my father supporting this much to my mother. Like he was supportive, but I never saw. ये कुछ अलग ही मिला है मुझे, like, I was like so blessed, feeling so blessed
We
कि
should have invited him also in this interview. Uh, Maybe someday in the
they both
future.
are, हाँ, right.
Yeah.
Part two.
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So this was the part of the hospitalization. It was hard. ICU was involved, and how long did your child stay in NICU?
2 months, exactly 2 months. He was born on 27th October and he was discharged after a day of Christmas. Yes, 26th December, back in
Hmm.
2017. Or
Hmm.
2 months. And he was like, around 1.5 tab bhi. He was not full 1.5 because gain ही नहीं हो रहा था उसका. Weight is still a problem with him. Weight gain हो ही नहीं रहा था तब भी उसका. Everybody was gaining. Every baby was gaining weight like आज 50 grams or 100 grams. इसका, I am telling you, 10 grams, 20 grams. That was the issue since beginning with him.
Hmm.
Otherwise, he
Hmm.
was very, very fine. He was doing all motor activities. He was moving his parts and he was breathing fine. Everything was going smooth. No other health issues, anything. But the weight was not getting, like maybe something similar. When I was pregnant, I was not getting that weight which a normal pregnant woman gets. So maybe that thing, persist with him. And those 2 months were like, we got support from hospital staff, we got everything. But when you have to manage finances and your health, your family's health, you have to work outside your city. You don't have a home in that city. The struggle, everyday struggle. I was going to buy stuff with my mom in that condition, right? So the whole experience, except outside hospital also, that was a struggle because we were new. We were not knowing anybody. We don't know अगर आज सब्जी खरीदनी है तो कहाँ जाना है, where should we go to buy milk, or where should we clean our clothes, and everything was a struggle. Every single thing was a struggle. So I was working. I was like, they both were taking care of me. They were both were protecting me. ढंग का बेड भी नहीं था वहां पे. They both have managed it somehow through help of some relative and everything. And everything was managed by both of them. But I was seeing the struggle of them. I was sitting there. My mom was making dalia and everything healthy for me, जो भी वो कर सकते थे. And she was doing every chores for us. And my husband was working from that place also, and managing the finances. आज इतना हो गया, 4 दिन बाद इतना देना है, this and that. So all of these things now are a different experience for me altogether, not only the hospital stuff.
Right. So, and then you mentioned that after this phase, you've also experienced postpartum depression. So, can you tell
Yes,
us about like, how did it start? How did you realize that, okay, it is postpartum depression? What did it look
yes.
like? What was a day in, when you have postpartum depression, what does a day look like? Especially when you're responsible for a young life. Um, and it is something that is probably not not really, most an average family, why would they know about postpartum depression? क्योंकि बहुत
Nobody
नॉर्मल चीज
was aware.
है.
हाँ,
बच्चा पैदा होता
ये
है
तो
कि
सब,
तो सब
हाँ,
करते हैं, सबको करना चाहिए, सब
राइट,
लाइक तो
सबको करना
या
चाहिए.
या
Hmm. Right. Now they are acknowledging the family and relatives and friends. Earlier they were, now they're saying that you both are very, a strong couple, that you raised this baby so beautifully. He's so capable enough. Like अपनी capacities में बहुत अच्छा कर रहा है. But that time it was like सबके साथ होता है ये. It is quite normal. And the day we came from the hospital, my husband got transferred to South Africa while I was pregnant. So he didn't came because I was pregnant, and then this thing happened. He made sure at home after 1 or 1.5 month, he made sure that baby is surviving well because when the baby got discharged, they put some bamboo watch करके कुछ डालते हैं, and then to maintain the temperature, we have to switch on ACs and heaters all together to maintain the temperature of those. That panic was different. When that watch start beeping, kuch galat hai, settle down temperature. That struggle was something else for 1 or 2 months. My husband helped me survive this, and I was like, he had to come here, South Africa, Durban, to join his, job. And I was like, आप चले जाओगे तो मैं कैसे मैनेज करूंगी? पहला तो ये डर, it started arising that अभी टेम्परेचर गड़बड़ हुआ तो इन्होंने फटाफट कर दिया, मेरी तो बॉडी ही अलाउ नहीं करी, बिकॉज आई डेंट गॉट रेस्ट एंड दैट काइंड ऑफ केयर जो उस टाइम पे होना चाहिए था, राइट? एंड इट वाज विंटर्स, सो टिल नाउ माय बॉडी हैव सिम्टम्स, टिल नाउ। वो पहले जैसा हो ही नहीं सकता, बट उतना भी नहीं हुआ जितना नॉर्मली हो जाता है बाकी फीमेल्स का, कि ठीक है, नाउ यू आर फाइन। सो the fear, that he will go, and I am here to handle this baby alone, right? In-laws were there, सब उठते थे रात को अगर कोई दिक्कत हो रही है, my brother-in-law, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law, everybody is so supportive. But that hesitation, इज देयर, दैट ओके, अब मैं किसी को आवाज लगाऊंगी तो कोई आएगा, और ऐसा होगा वैसा होगा। सो दीज थिंग्स गिव मी दैट palpitations। मैं बहुत डर जाती थी जब उनके जाने का टाइम नजदीक आ रहा था। आई वाज लाइक कि मैं क्या करूंगी देयर। माय हस्बैंड took this decision to shift me to my mother's place, because he is very much practical। let me tell you that he is like that, माँ से अच्छी केयर कोई नहीं कर सकता, राइट? यू नीड टू स्टे विद योर मदर, वो तेरा ध्यान रखेंगी, तू अपने बेबी का ध्यान रखियो, राइट? एंड देन I shifted there, but he came here to South Africa, and I was like, हर
The
दिन,
reaction of your in-laws to this decision of moving to your own house, because sometimes based on what a lot of women have this experience where it is like
hmm,
कि शादी के बाद तो in-laws के घर पे ही रहना है, अपने घर नहीं जाना. I mean, it's a
they were
modern
very
day struggle.
supportive.
It's a
Yeah,
very true, real thing happens today also. Women experience this
yes,
categorical pressure where it is
hmm,
like you are not
yes.
supposed to go to your house this much or live there. I think it is a big challenge. So how was their
Again,
reaction?
I don't know, even before coming here, when I was in long distance, Abhi recently, I was at my mother's place because my baby's treatment was going on there. But that time also, my mother-in-law and my, other members at in-laws place, they were quite supportive because the baby needs care. I needed care. So they were also like that, that, see, I don't know that thing, when people say, na, if husband is supportive, सबका सपोर्ट मिल जाता है फिर आपको। मे बी दैट हैपेंड विद मी, एंड दे आर जेन्युइनली नाइस। सो लाइक दे वर लाइक, ठीक कह रहे हैं वो, मदर जो कर सकती है मैं कितना भी कर लूं, मैं माँ नहीं बन सकती। माय मदर इन लॉ वाज लाइक दैट, like you should go there. They used to, like, it's not very far, the cities are like 40 minutes run from each other. Then they used to come there, and I used to go to my in-laws place in between that. It was like 6 7 months, like, when my baby was 8 months, then we came to South Africa. So till those 6 months, it was like कभी हम जा रहे हैं, कभी वो लोग आ रहे हैं, तो it was not that tough for me. That part was never tough for me, and everybody supported this decision, and because we needed to focus on my health and my baby's health. That was the prime goal. And all of my family members, every side, both side, they supported this thing that okay, they both need care, they both need attention, and my mother was more than willing to do that for us. So I stayed there, and my I started raising my baby there. He was into therapy since the very first day he was born in an ICU. I don't know,
Therapy.
physio, it started with physio in an ICU. I don't know उस time पे क्या बच्चे की physio करते थे वो, but still they were like charging for it and doing that. I don't know. But when he was 3 4 months, we started physiotherapy again, and then occupational I started little later. Right. For him, lot of therapy, lot of everything was going on, and me and my mother was running every week to different places because in Haryana it was not that much good. So we used to go to Gurgaon, and every week we used to take him to therapist. We used to take him to the doctors for vaccination. That kind of struggle is a altogether a different story. We did that, and during that period, no, Srishti, I realized I was working before I got pregnant. This with this child, I was always working before my marriage. Since I was in my master's, usse pehle bhi, I started working at very early age. As I told you, we are middle class, so we need that, you know. So I was always working, always. Like if I need something for myself, my parents used to tell to me that, "Beta, work for it and get it." Like that kind of life we have led, with financial difficulties. So this gave me that sense कि अब मैं कभी काम नहीं कर पाऊंगी. What is the benefit of getting so much qualification? I was a lecturer earlier, and now I'm sitting at home doing nothing. That gave me that sense of self-doubt, and my partner is in other country, and I'm sitting here at my mother's place and still feeling lonely. That day I realized that कुछ तो गड़बड़ है मेरे साथ, कुछ तो गलत हो रहा है, right? I'm not fine. That confidence was like, if you're seeing me now, recently you've seen me a lot. If you'll see, before that kid I had na, before that Kihina, I was a different person. इससे भी double confident I was, but वो कभी वापस आया ही नहीं, कभी वापस नहीं आया, right? And I was like, कुछ भी कहीं भी कैसे भी कभी भी कर देना. I was always ready. Now I become conscious. सही होगा मुझसे, नहीं होगा, मैं कुछ कर पाऊंगी, नहीं कर पाऊंगी. And that day, that self doubt came in, and then I realized that I need to see a therapist. I need to talk to someone because I'm from this field. I know कैसा होता है. It's not normal. And luckily, uh, before that baby, when I was a lecturer, I was teaching, child psychology. So I recently went through that prenatal or postnatal care and everything, depression and everything I have read. वो मुझे लगा कि नहीं, कुछ तो similarities आ रही हैं, कुछ गड़बड़ है. Then I connected with a therapist, and she told me that you have symptoms, and your environment is maybe, living away from your partner. Even if you are in loving environment, it is boosting it, you know. Like I am a mother, वो realization नहीं हो रहा है, and I'm in an environment where I'm getting I was an over pampered child शुरू से, and my parents were giving me that at that time also. So I'm in dilemma कि मैं mother हूँ या मैं अभी भी बच्ची हूँ. That identity crisis actually, कि मेरा actual state क्या है, कौन सा role मुझे करना है, वो भी समझ नहीं आ रहा. So I went to therapy also for this, and मुझे ये भी नहीं पता था कि कैसे क्या करना है. Everything my mother was telling me, but जब मैं वो चीजें कर रही होती थी, I never curse my baby कि तेरी वजह से ऐसा हुआ, right? अभी कभी एक आध बार बोल देती हूँ मैं गुस्से में, फिर उसी टाइम उसको कहती हूँ कि नहीं, ऐसा नहीं है. बट उस टाइम पे ऐसा नहीं हुआ, बट इंटरनली आई वाज फीलिंग कि कहीं ये डिसीजन लेकर टू गेटिंग प्रेग्नेंट एंड दिस चाइल्ड, मैंने गलती तो नहीं करी. अब क्या सारी जिंदगी ऐसे ही चलेगा? इसके स्ट्रगल्स, व्हेन द थेरेपिस्ट टेल अस कि इसको माइलस्टोन डिले है, इसको चलने में दिक्कत आएगी, माइन्यूट सीपी है, इसको सेरेब्रल पाल्सी. तो क्या स्ट्रगल्स रहेंगे, क्या होगा? कुछ
जिस
ऐसा लगता
ऑडियंस
था कि
को जिस ऑडियंस को नहीं पता कि डेवलपमेंटल माइलस्टोन डिले क्या होता है, सेरिब्रल पॉल्सी क्या होता है, क्या आप थोड़ा सा बता सकते हो इस बारे में?
see, with my child, it's like, he is mentally fit but physically delayed. Milestone delay means you're not sitting at the time of इतने month पे आप बैठते हैं, then you start walking at certain age, like you start doing motor activities, and you start intellectualizing, and um, started your critical thinking starts, your creative thinking starts, everything जो आपकी सही समय पे शुरू होती है, मेरे बच्चे के साथ वो नहीं हो रहा था. Even now, he is in therapy, and he was not even speaking at that time. Now he speaks because I have done his speech therapy while learning through some, speech therapist. So behavioral issues बहुत ज़्यादा होते हैं, बहुत ज़्यादा होते हैं, and that's how I came to behavior therapy. Also, I did a course for him, and I used it on him first because long period of 5 years I was not doing anything. I was not utilizing psychology. I was just utilizing it for him every single day. And these kids ना these are like वो समझ सब रहे हैं but वो express नहीं कर पाते at times, right? And also there is a thing called उनके किसी like with my baby it's he has tight hamstrings. उसके hamstrings बहुत tight है तो उसके हाथ ऐसे होते थे जब वो छोटा था और उसके legs and everything this lower body part was very tight. He was not even able to sit as Siddha till the age of 4 plus. Proper therapy, occupational therapy, physiotherapy, neurologist से हम consult करते थे. Then उसके बाद he started sitting on a high chair. Then after that, when I went back to India for his treatment, he started sitting ऐसे आराम से बिना you know um, tilt किए एक side पे. So these kind of things you will and these there are certain other symptoms also like with my baby he was drooling always drooling. With other babies it can be something else also. Some kind of behavior they do on a repetitive basis जिससे कि आपको पता चलता है कि कुछ तो ठीक नहीं है बच्चे के साथ. Then I took his test, lot of tests for him, developmental test and everything कि कौन सी stage पे वो है. Like the actual age of premature babies we don't see from October 2017 जब वो हुआ था. We see when was the delivery was due. It was January 18. So doctors see from there, and then I got to know that these kind of kids, what we see is they grow differently. These all I have learned from his, neonatal care doctor, where he was in an ICU. Here in South Africa also, I've seen many neurologists and pediatricians and everything. I got to know about it. And they need continuous therapy. दे नीड कॉन्टिन्यूअस थेरेपी. ये बहुत कॉमन चीज है इनके साथ. कई बार ना हम ये सोचते हैं सृष्टि कि थोड़ा टाइम थेरेपी चलेगी फिर हो जाएगा ठीक. कई बार हम ये सोचते हैं कि अभी नहीं चाहिए. एंड मैनी ऑफ द केसेस व्हेन आई गो टू थेरेपिस्ट यहाँ पे इंडिया में डिफरेंट प्लेसेस पे दे से दैट आप स्टार्टिंग से इसको ला रहे हो मे बी तभी ये ठीक कर रहा है क्योंकि बहुत सारे पेरेंट्स तो 4 5 6 साल की एज में लेकर आते हैं हमारे पास जब चीजें खराब हो चुकी होती हैं ऑलरेडी, राइट? उनको कोई केयर अटेंशन मिली ही नहीं उस टाइम पे, राइट? एंड माई बेबी वॉज अभी वो क्या बोलता है कि मम्मा आप जो तब बोलते थे, लाइक जब वो बहुत छोटा था हम यहाँ रहते थे तो मैं बहुत कोशिश करती थी अल्फाबेट सिखाने की. बहुत कोशिश करती थी उसको कि कुछ बोले. वो बस मम्मा दे दो क्या है 4 5 वर्ड बड़ी मुश्किल से बोलना सीखा था. बट इनके साथ ना सृष्टि आई वांट टू टेल द ऑडियंस ऑल्सो दैट बाकी बच्चों को अगर आपको कोई चीज 5 से 7 बार बतानी पड़ेगी इनको आपको 100 टाइम्स बतानी पड़ेगी बट वो सीखेंगे. वो सुन सब रहे हैं समझ सब रहे हैं एंड आई डोंट नो with proper care with proper therapies with proper you know assistance they will get through this and they if luckily like my baby did he told me वो आपको बताएंगे that वो सब समझ रहे थे. My baby told me that अभी मैं उसको बोलती हूँ ना कि चुप हो जाओ बेटा मम्मा बहुत मुश्किल से शुरू किया बोलना आप ही तो कहते हो 4 5 साल तक तो बोल ही नहीं रहा था, राइट? एंड ही यूज्ड टू टेल मी अभी जब 1.5 साल पहले उसने बोलना शुरू किया ढंग से तो ही यूज्ड टू टेल मी मम्मा आप मेरे को पोस्टर्स लगा के दिखाते थे ना मुझे सब समझ में आता था मैं बोलने की कोशिश करता था मुझसे होता नहीं था. Their muscles are tight here also. He went through some surgeries also, that is a different thing, but everything is tight in his body. So he is pushing it hard. Like now he is pushing it for walking, but वो sometimes नहीं हो पाता है. And mentally आप अगर इन बच्चों को देखो ना I've heard from doctors and as a psychologist I would also say कि इनको आप जो नॉर्मल इंक्लूसिव स्कूल्स होते हैं उसमें डालिए तो बेटर रहता है बिकॉज सी अगर मेंटल स्ट्रगल नहीं है अगर उनको एज के हिसाब से वो रिएक्ट कर रहे हैं सारी चीजें नॉर्मल है तो उनको आप स्पेशल एजुकेशन स्कूल्स में मत डालो बिकॉज देयर दे विल अडेप्ट सर्टेन अदर थिंग्स व्हिच आर नॉट करेक्ट फॉर देम, राइट? certain kind of behaviors, right? And now he is studying in KG class, and now he's doing great. And he is so sharp that he is, catching up on certain things like writing and everything, because his hamstring are here are still tight. वो भी ले रहा है time उन muscles पे, but he is still doing great at his age, और जो भी उसने अभी तक देखा. I just want people to know कि अगर हम गिव अप कर देंगे तो वो भी गिव अप कर देंगे. एंड विद माय बेबी इट्स लाइक दैट. मैं उसको बोलती हूँ ना, बेटा चलो एक्सरसाइज करते हैं. ही इज लाइक, हाँ मम्मा करते हैं. बेटा यू वांट टू गो टू स्कूल. ही सेड, इन इंडिया आल्सो ही यूज्ड टू गो टू स्कूल. ही यूज्ड टू सिट इन वैन. वो नहीं बैठ पाता था सीधा, फिर भी मैं उसको भेजती थी, राइट. उसको हैबिट डाली कि ये चीज आपको करनी है. And he, with little assistance, he can swim also. He can do many things which a normal kid do. He is doing everything now. And I just want to say that just be there with them, meet them at their level, so that they can thrive in life actually.
I cannot even, you know, imagine being in your position, first of all, because I am not a parent as of now. So it just being a parent is hard, but then these responsibilities and also what you're saying कि कई बार क्या होता है कि हमें लगता है कि लोग बोल रहे हैं ऑक्यूपेशनल थेरेपिस्ट के पास जाओ, फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट के पास जाओ, ये सब पैसे कमाने के तरीके हैं, छापने के तरीके हैं, डॉक्टर का रेफरल नेटवर्क है, डॉक्टर खूब कमा रहा होगा फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट ऑक्यूपेशनल थेरेपिस्ट से.
Hmm.
भाई अगर वो सच भी है ना, और अगर बाई चांस वो चीज सच है, क्योंकि दुनिया में हर
हाँ,
टाइप की चीजें होती है, लेट्स अज्यूम कि अगर वो
right.
सच है, बट लॉस आपका है, लॉस आपके बच्चे का है, इफ यू
फिर
नॉट
भी जाओ,
फॉलोइंग.
मैं कहूंगी. यस,
हाँ.
फिर भी जाओ, क्योंकि फायदा आपका है. अगर
हम्म.
आप जाओगे, नहीं जाओगे तो नुकसान भी आपका है, एज यू सेड. सी,
हम्म.
यहाँ पे इन साउथ अफ्रीका, इंडिया में ठीक है, इट वाज गुड़गांव हरियाणा से रोहतक बहादुरगढ़ से इतना दूर नहीं है, तो हम चले जाते थे आराम से. यहाँ पे कैन यू इमेजिन, आई कांट ड्राइव, मुझे ड्राइव करना नहीं आता. माय हस्बैंड यूज्ड टू कम फ्रॉम ऑफिस, एंड ही यूज्ड टू टेक अस, मी एंड माय बेबी, टू द थेरेपिस्ट. 90 minutes वो हमारा ड्राइविंग रहता था. Then 1 hour therapy, and then we used to come back, and then he used to go back to office and everything, just to get him that therapy twice a week, then once a week. Slowly he got relief from that. So you have to do that. अभी अगर आप कर लोगे, it will help that kid in the long run, whole life. You know, that struggle you have to do, because God has chosen you for this, so you have to give your 100% for the baby, so that उसकी भी लाइफ अच्छी रहे और आपकी भी लाइफ थोड़ी इजी रहे, राइट. नाउ आई कैन लीव हिम outside and do my work, to take my sessions, take my classes. But earlier it was like, अभी गिर जाएगा, अभी ये हो जाएगा. I was so scared. So ये हार्ड वर्क से ही तो आया है ना. अगर हम तब गिव अप कर देते तो वो कुछ भी ना कर पाता.
या आई
That kind of
थिंक
thing I want people to do.
ये जो डर होता है ना कि आप किसी का केयर गिविंग कर रहे हैं, और अगर आप ने थोड़े वक्त के लिए भी अपना पीठ मोड़ा कुछ काम करने के लिए, वो कुछ हो सकता है जेन्युइनली द वेरी रियल थ्रेट. आई थिंक जो केयर गिविंग पोजीशन पे नहीं रहा है ना, उस इंसान को ये चीज से रिलेट करना
नहीं,
मुश्किल है वो.
I have lived it. I have lived this fear actually
हम्म.
when I resumed my work.
राइट.
When I
तभी ना
resumed.
केयर गिविंग पे कॉन्वर्जेशंस मैंने देखे हैं, सेल्फ केयर करो, खुद पे ध्यान दो, खुद को नेग्लेक्ट मत करो, बाहर जाओ. एंड आई एम लाइक दिस इज एडवाइस इज क्लियरली कमिंग फ्रॉम समवन हु इज नेवर बीन इन अ केयर गिविंग पोजीशन. मतलब
हाँ, रियल
आप
लाइफ में ऐसा नहीं होता.
एग्जैक्टली जब किसी का जान आप पे निर्भर है, यू नो, तो आप सेल्फ केयर बहुत एक दूर की चीज है, वो बहुत प्रिविलेज चीज लगती है वो. तो
Yes,
इस चीज में
it
मैं
is.
पूछना चाहूंगी कि आपके आपके जो इंडिपेंडेंट इंडिविजुअल गोल्स हैं, इंडिपेंडेंट नहीं इंडिविजुअल गोल्स हैं कि अम, सबके अपने कुछ सपने होते हैं कि हम प्रोफेशनली ये करें, फाइनेंशियली ये करें, या हमारा सोशल लाइफ ऐसा हो. तो एज अ केयर आज के टाइम पे भी आप एक केयर गिविंग रोल में हैं, एंड आप फ्यूचर में भी उस पोजीशन में, फॉर द फोर्सिबल फ्यूचर यू विल बी देयर, राइट? सो what happens to your individual pursuits? How are you managing them?
Thank you for this question actually. As I was telling you, मैंने जिया है उस डर को when I was resuming my work. So when I was going through postpartum depression, चीजें हो रही थी, then I lost my father, उसके बाद COVID आया, then चीजें बहुत मुश्किल हो रही थी मेरे लिए. बहुत ज्यादा. I was like, sitting in my home. Just wanted to give you little, background. That's why I just chose to talk about it. I was sitting in my home and watching TV serials and doing nothing. Actually, nothing. 80-90% of work my husband was doing, even cooking also, even, everything at home. He was doing. I was just उसका डायपर चेंज कर दिया, उसको नहला दिया, उसको खिला दिया. मैं बहुत कर रही हूँ. That dilemma I was living in कि मैं तो इसी के लिए बनी हूँ. मुझे यही करना है अब, राइट. एंड व्हेन आई वाज सिटिंग देयर एंड कुछ भी नहीं हो रहा था, देन कोविड के टाइम पे हस्बैंड वाज एट होम लॉकडाउन में. एंड ही सो मी कि भैया ऐसे लाइफ नहीं चलेगी, ये कर लेगा जब इसको जो करना है. तू खड़ी हो, अपने लिए कुछ कर. वेयर आर योर गोल? साइकोलॉजी में कुछ करना है, तू तो लेक्चरर थी, तुझे तो काउंसलिंग प्रैक्टिस स्टार्ट करनी थी, सो एंड सो. अगर चीजें नॉर्मल होती तो ये बहुत पहले शुरू हो जाता. बट अब 5 साल हो गए हैं, ऑलमोस्ट 5 इयर्स हो गए थे बेबी को. एंड ही वाज लाइक कि नहीं. मैंने कहा कि आई एम लिविंग आउट ऑफ इंडिया, हाउ कैन आई रीस्टार्ट माय वर्क, हाउ कैन आई थिंक. इसका क्या होगा, इसको कौन संभालेगा? हियर यू कांट गेट हेल्प सो इजीली. Here no family member is here, you're also going to work. कैसे होगा मैनेज? He was like सब हो जाएगा. He actually gave me that insight, and then I discussed with my therapist, and then I was like कि अब करना क्या है. I was talking back to people there, but मुझे समझ नहीं आ रहा था कि मैं काम शुरू करूंगी तो इसको कौन संभालेगा, वो डर. एंड when I resumed my work, रिसर्च करके, थोड़ा एक दो कोर्स करके, थोड़ा पढ़ाई करके दोबारा से, I was taking my first therapy session pro bono से start किया था सृष्टि. And you will not be you will not remember, I started seeing your and one to more people's work there, and then I started asking you people that अच्छा कितना चार्ज करते, क्या मतलब सबसे पूछ पूछ के मैंने
I
किया है
remember.
वो काम.
I remember
You
this is
you
sometime around the pandemic. Yeah.
Yeah, you told me that don't undersell yourself. तुमने मुझसे मेरी क्वालिफिकेशन पूछी, and then you said कि आप एमफिल हो, आपने इतना काम कर रखा है, don't undersell yourself. इतना नहीं चार्ज करना है आपको, आपको ज्यादा करना है. You were the one who told me. मैं हर जगह जाके बताती हूँ ये चीज. And when I was taking my first session, एक रूम में, baby was in other room. मैं लिटरली अंदर से रो रही थी. गिर जाएगा वो, उसको कुछ हो जाएगा. मैं बहुत सेल्फिश हूँ, मैं अपना काम रिज्यूम कर रही हूँ, ये गलत कर रही हूँ मैं, उसके साथ क्या होगा. See how I, after that session, it was pro bono, it was done, and I was crying sitting there. I was literally crying. I, मतलब इवन अभी आई एम शेयरिंग व्हेन आई एम टॉकिंग अबाउट इट, बिकॉज मेरे अंदर इतना कॉन्फिडेंस भी नहीं था उससे पहले. कुछ टाइम पहले माय हस्बैंड डिड इट टू रिवाइव माय कॉन्फिडेंस एक्चुअली, दैट इंडिपेंडेंट ही ना वापस आनी चाहिए. उनको ये लगा क्योंकि मैं बहुत कॉन्फिडेंट थी पहले, बट जब ये सब हुआ तो इवन आई एम नॉट एबल टू गो टू स्टोर एंड बाय समथिंग फॉर माई सेल्फ. मैं बात नहीं कर पाती थी लोगों से. माई हस्बैंड डिड many things, like he was sitting in the car with the baby. He was like, तूने अपना सामान खरीदना ना, I don't know about your creams and cosmetics and everything. Take the card, take the money, go buy it for yourself. हम कार में बैठे हैं, वो कार में बैठ के पिज्जा खा रहे हैं और मुझे जाना है, राइट. एंड आई यू नो डिड दैट. और मैं लिटरली रोती थी उस सब करने के बाद. एंड व्हेन आई रीजॉइन माय स्टडीज, दोबारा से मैं खुद से काम कर रही हूँ, असाइनमेंट बना रही हूँ, लाइक हाथ से लिख रही हूँ. एंड ही सेड दैट यू आर सो पैशनेट अबाउट साइकोलॉजी, यू आर सो पैशनेट अबाउट दिस वर्क, व्हाई यू आर नॉट डूइंग इट अर्लियर. तुमने क्यों नहीं किया अब तक, अब तक चुप क्यों बैठे थे तुम. एंड आई वाज लाइक कि कौन ध्यान रखेगा इसका. हम इंडिया एक मंथ के लिए जाते हैं, फिर वापस यहाँ आ जाते हैं. आपका काम जरूरी है, बिकॉज वी नीड फाइनेंसेस, वी नीड, वी हैड अ लोन एट दैट टाइम. सब कुछ देखना है, बिकॉज मेरे काम से इतना नहीं आएगा, राइट. एंड उस टाइम पे मेंटल हेल्थ वाज आल्सो, मतलब इससे अभी से तो बहुत ज्यादा यू नो उसमें थी कि लोग टैबू था बहुत ज्यादा. तो आई वाज लाइक कि ओके, मैं करती हूँ. एंड देन व्हेन आई टुक दिस फर्स्ट सेशन ना, उसके बाद आई गॉट सो मच करेज. एंड उससे पहले also I procrastinate on this thing. He actually, this optimistic Hina Instagram page, he actually forced me to do that, literally forced me. जैसे I always say, जब मुझसे कोई पूछता है, जैसे माँ बाप एक बच्चे को अपने पैरों पे खड़ा करते हैं, my husband did it for myself, right. He told me कि आपको लगता है कि ऑनलाइन काम करना है, काउंसलिंग प्रैक्टिस तुम कर सकते हो, तुमने अपने प्रोफेसर से डिस्कस कर लिया, सब हो गया, तो बनाओ ना ऑनलाइन पेज, प्रोफेशनल पेज बनाओ, पर्सनल वाले से नहीं करोगे आप काम। एंड आई वाज लाइक, नाम सोच लिया, सब कुछ हो गया, उनके साथ बैठ के ब्रेनस्टॉर्म कर लिया, बट नहीं बना रही हूँ। एक वीक चला गया, 2 वीक चले गए, एंड वन डे ही वाज गोइंग टू द ऑफिस, ही वाज लाइक, आज शाम को 6 बजे मैं आऊंगा, उससे पहले अगर ये पेज नहीं बना, डोंट टॉक टू मी, एंड दिस इज समथिंग आई कांट बियर। एंड ही वाज लाइक, यस यू हैव टू डू इट, नहीं तो मैं बात नहीं करने वाला हूँ। और
आई
दैट,
थिंक ये ना लोग um this is such a beautiful relationship that you're describing with your husband, and he is also a caregiver, but you're the primary caregiver. You know, the
यस,
primary
यस,
caregiver is most responsible, and sometimes we
यस,
do get lost in the responsibility so much कि हमारा I think it has been a while when I'm out of the caregiving position. पिछले 1 डेढ़ साल से I'm out of the
या,
caregiving position, and even now when I have to do something purely for myself, right? Like any pursuit. बाहर से जो भी appear कर रही हूँ मैं, that you know, that is a whole separate thing. Everyone has a persona. Everyone is, you know,
राइट,
uh, projecting an image into the world. But when I have to make a selfish, I still call it a selfish decision for someone who's not been in a
यस,
caregiving position, putting
या,
aside money just to, you know, get yourself a degree or certification. It doesn't come with guilt. It doesn't come with shame. It doesn't come with, oh,
यस,
I am selfishly using money. But for me, it is something I have to retrain my mind. Hey, it's okay. ये normal है. ये basic चीज है.
या,
Yeah.
you can do
So
it.
exactly. So I think that's why you need someone who's not in a caregiving position, or either like a secondary caregiver or someone else who's very
Yeah,
invested in your well-being, to say, hey, no, no, no.
yeah,
Come back to yourself. Come back to yourself.
yeah,
Remember who you were before the caregiving started, you know. I think that's so
right.
powerful. So this is so
Yes.
beautiful to hear the way your husband has navigated, you know, all of these
He actually
challenges.
pulled me out of that situation. He
Yeah.
pulled me out. Like I'm telling you now
Yeah.
that no, you need to be independent. I don't need your money.
Mm.
I will not ask for a penny also. Even if you earn 5,000, even if you earn 1 lakh, I don't need anything. Just do it for yourself. I want that Hina back. That's it. Like मुझे मेरी Hina चाहिए वापस. Even now he says that, like, that okay, think about yourself. टेक योर टी एंड गो बैक, गो सिट इन द बालकनी, मैं संभाल लूंगा उसको, वो कर लेगा, वो कहीं नहीं जाता, कुछ नहीं होता उसको। आई एम सो स्केर्ड, इवन इफ ही इज सिटिंग इन द ऑनलाइन स्कूल, माय बेबी नाउ, ही इज सिटिंग देयर विद सिस्टम एंड एवरीथिंग, ही इज फाइन, he have everything around, he says, mama, you go, you do your work, you sit in the other room. I am like scared all the time that नहीं, अगर मैं आसपास नहीं हुई, इसको कौन संभालेगा, इसका क्या होगा? So that thing, as you said, my husband pulling me out of that thing is something very powerful because it gave me courage. Like he was like, go buy that stuff for yourself. मैं नहीं देखने वाला हूँ जाके कि कौन सी क्रीम अच्छी है, कौन सी बुरी है। मैं नहीं जाके देखूंगा कि कौन सी ड्रेस तुमको लेनी है। Right? You have to do it for yourself. But his intention was to revive my confidence. Like वो बात करना ही नहीं, क्योंकि घर की चार दीवारी में रह गए आप कहीं निकले नहीं, आप कुछ कर नहीं रहे हो। सो ही वाज लाइक कि वो कॉन्फिडेंस वापस ऐसे ही आएगा, राइट? सो स्लोली इट केम बैक एंड देन आई डिड वर्क। एक दो क्लाइंट आए, हुआ काम थोड़ा बहुत। कंटेंट नहीं बनाती थी मैं, आई यूज्ड टू पुट फीडबैक्स ऑफ क्लाइंट्स एज अ कंटेंट, राइट? इवन नाउ आई टेल टू माय स्टूडेंट्स कि मेरा कंटेंट ये होता था, क्लाइंट का फीडबैक आया, आई यूज्ड टू पुट इट ऑन माय पेज कि हाँ ठीक है, ये मेरा कंटेंट हो गया, राइट? बिकॉज मेन वर्क क्या है हमारा, थेरेपी सेशंस, थेरेपी प्रैक्टिस, तो उससे जो है आई पुट इट आउट देयर, क्योंकि मेरा स्ट्रगल अलग है, nobody will understand, right? I'm not a content creator, I'm a mental health advocate, I'm a mental health advocate, and I am a preemie mom, ये मेरी आइडेंटिटी है। So I will, carry this with me. I will not fake it for the world. So that's how I have been doing. And 2.5 years now, I am, able to put myself out and do a little bit of what I am doing. Right. This all come with support and, that love of your family. Right. Even I'm telling, my baby says now, Mama, go take your session. I will not speak. अब session ले लो. I'm sitting outside watching TV. एंड आई क्लोज द रूम ऑल्सो। अब मैं नहीं डरती, अब मैं रूम भी क्लोज कर लेती हूँ, अब मैं सेशन भी ले लेती हूँ, अब कोई डर नहीं लगता।
ये
तो
जर्नी बहुत ज्यादा जरूरी है, क्योंकि जहाँ पे मतलब सी देयर आर सम कंडीशंस वेयर परहैप्स यहाँ पे ना एक सेकंड ओपिनियन बहुत जरूरी होती है। जो भी इस पोजीशन में है, आप अपने डॉक्टर से सलाह लीजिए कि क्या आप पेशेंट को कितना इंडिपेंडेंट आपको रखना चाहिए और कितना खुद पे
यस।
डिपेंड कराना चाहिए, क्योंकि कई बार अदरवाइज अगर हम अपने इनसिक्योरिटीज के बेसिस पे जाए तो आप हमेशा हर चीज में, जहाँ जरूरत भी नहीं है, हैंड होल्ड करेंगे एंड
हाँ,
लॉन्ग टर्म द
बिल्कुल।
चाइल्ड विल हैव टू सफर फॉर दैट काइंड ऑफ
यस।
इंटेंसिव
यस।
हैंड होल्डिंग की
या
जरूरत है, आप करिए, बट कहाँ दायरा लगाना है ताकि वो बच्चा इंडिपेंडेंस
बाउंड्रीज।
सीख पाए। आई थिंक दैट इज वेरी वेरी important and powerful,
राइट।
and that's why you need to trust your professionals. इस पूरे टाइम में आपके एक थेरेपिस्ट नहीं है?
नहीं,
काउंसलर,
जब
साइकोलॉजिस्ट?
जब स्टार्टिंग में इट वाज समवन एल्स, देन आई गॉट मतलब कुछ ट्रस्ट इश्यूज होने लगे मुझे उन पे। सो बिकॉज व्हेन यू आर इन द फील्ड ना, यू नीड समवन, आप देख, एंड it was altogether very different thing that she is starting being conscious that okay, मैम आप इतने ज्यादा क्वालिफाइड हो, ये है, मैं आपको थेरेपी नहीं दे सकती। आई सेड what was that? So I changed it, and then there was another person.
Yeah, I think, okay, so here, quick note, any psychology student or young psychologist who's watching, if you have such feelings, instead of saying this to the client, please discuss it with your supervisor. It is
Yes,
your
please,
baggage is for
please,
you to handle, not to be put on the client. Just a message to young
yes,
psychologists. Yeah, coming
because
back
we
to you.
also need good therapist.
Yeah, we need
Yes.
we need we need good therapists,
Yeah.
we need good supervisors, and I think I really
Yes.
advocate for that. Coming back to you,
Yes.
sorry.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, after that I changed my therapist. बहुत मुश्किल था because बहुत सारे लोगों को जानती थी मैं, अभी के, क्योंकि काम शुरू कर दिया तो अभी वालों को भी जानती हूँ, पहले वालों को तो जानती हूँ। तो इट वाज वेरी टफ टू फाइंड अ गुड थेरेपिस्ट फॉर योरसेल्फ। लेट मी टेल यू, बहुत मुश्किल होता है बीइंग इन द फील्ड एंड फाइंड वन फॉर यू।
Even finding a therapist for yourself is definitely hard. Like I do remember, when I was trying to find a therapist for myself, I think I call की list है. So उस list
ओके।
में से I was like, okay, I have worked in Delhi NCR, not in Delhi NCR, no one from Delhi NCR. Okay. So I was like,
ऑब्वियसली।
what cities can I explore? Then I thought, okay, let me look into the list of Bangalore and Chennai. So I looked into Bangalore
या
and Chennai. I called some 10, 15 people, did the discovery calls, and then I was like, दूर दूर तक कोई रिश्ता नाता प्रोफेशनल नहीं है इस व्यक्ति के साथ.
बिल्कुल।
Now I can open up. Yes, definitely.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Same, same. Actually, that's the thing. I also look into the south side because ठीक है, नॉर्थ के तो हम हैं, राइट? दिल्ली एनसीआर एंड एवरीथिंग, हरियाणा, सब, everybody knows. Somehow, even if you have not worked with them, in my case, कहीं न कहीं मिले हो आप, कहीं न कहीं जानते हो आप, बिकॉज़ इतना टाइम हो गया है बीइंग इन द फील्ड। लाइक वन ऑफ द थेरेपिस्ट आई कॉल्ड, एंड I actually called 25, 6 people before confirming the second therapist, and she was like, "मैम आप उस कॉलेज में पढ़ाते थे, लेक्चरर थे, मैं वहाँ आई हूँ, आपको मिली हूँ, आई हैव विजिटेड देयर एज़ अ कहीं पे गेस्ट वेस्ट के उसमें।" आई सेड नो, बाय बाय। ऐसा नहीं हो सकता। So
Yeah, yeah.
this is,
It's very
yeah, this is
strange
some,
position to be in. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So even sometimes you don't even remember कहाँ मिले हो क्या है, but still अगर आ गया है वो चीज़, I want to say that अगर ऐसी कोई acquaintance कहीं से कुछ connection मिल गया है, don't go for that. Try another one, please. क्योंकि the biasness can come from anywhere, right? And you don't want to open up to a person, to a professional, um, जहाँ biasness का scope रहता है, right? Even if हल्का सा आप 5 मिनट कहीं मिले, I don't prefer to go for those professionals also. Right. So I chose the second one, and till now the second one is there, and she's good. She's far, far, far from the professional area of mine. So it is a good experience, and I'm very much satisfied with this therapist of mine because currently, I am going through a lot, and I am in therapy with her, and it's a good experience, right? When you get good, authentic, ethical professionals as your therapist. And with that, when you have a, as you said, कि अभी भी केयर गिविंग कर रहे हो, आगे भी करनी है, आपको पता है, पहले डर लगता था कि पूरी लाइफ ऐसे जाएगी, बट अब ऐसा लगता है कि बहुत सारी चीजें वो कर रहा है, राइट? He's
Yeah.
able to manage. He's able to
Hmm.
eat by himself, right? Now he's sitting on his table and chair. He don't need to sit on a bed or a couch or something. कहीं गिर ना जाए. He's like, Mama, I'll do it. I'll eat. आप रख दो यहाँ पे, right? If he want. Earlier, I used to, मतलब उसको एक एक चीज spoon feed करना. Like अभी वो कहता है कि मम्मा leave. अगर मुझे कुछ लेना है तो मैं ले लूंगा. Even if he don't walk, he crawl. Like which is अभी के लिए बंद है थोड़ा because of some hurdles in the walking, but he crawl to that thing. He has made smart ways to reach that destination. He said, I will get it, कोई problem ही नहीं है, right? So you need to give that space to that person to grow, right? And you need to teach yourself also to live without that caregiving space also sometimes, right? Abhi on weekends I take my time. My husband says that why you're coming to him, why you're coming to me. Go sit, do, make your content, do your stuff, whatever you want to do. जो भी करना है करो, घर का काम करना है, अपना काम करना है कर लो, right? Don't always think कि उठते ही आपको यही करना है बस, right? तो this is kind of थोड़ा सा mental relief मुझे
इसके
मिला
साथ
है पिछले
बाउंड्रीज
कुछ
ड्रॉ
टाइम.
करने पड़ते हैं थोड़े।
हाँ, कर
या
रही हूँ, मैं
या
सीख रही हूँ. थोड़ा सा
या
मेंटल रिलीफ मुझे मिला. एंड वही है कि अगर मुझे किसी से बात करनी है कुछ है, पहले ये रहता था कि इसको साथ में बिठा के करूंगी, मेरी नजरों के सामने रहना चाहिए. इफ आई एम वर्किंग इन द किचन, विजन, मेरा विजन ब्लॉक नहीं होना चाहिए. आई हैव टू सी हिम ऑल द टाइम. बट माय हस्बैंड सेड दैट यू आर नॉट सर्विलेंस कैमरा. You can't
या
watch him all the time. Like, see,
या
it would be very, very wrong, but he is teaching me all the things all the time. कि आपको ऐसे नहीं करना, आपको ऐसे नहीं करना. Like, we discuss things
इट्स
every
नॉट
second.
रॉन्ग, आई थिंक इट्स अ वेरी नेचुरल थिंग ना, हम इंसान एक
No,
दूसरे से सीखते हैं, हमारी
right, right.
हमारा फितूर
But
है वो एक दूसरे से सीखना।
right, right.
या
And I'm still like I am like this, that I don't know, the baby adapted from me. I'm a curious kid all the time. मतलब इतने क्वेश्चंस होते हैं मेरे पास, लाइक एक चीज अगर कोई बता रहा है तो मैं 10 क्वेश्चंस और लेके बैठी हूँ सामने, राइट? एंड माय हस्बैंड इज लाइक, आई हैव टू टीच यू एवरीथिंग, आई हैव टू टेल यू एवरीथिंग, बिकॉज तू समझती नहीं है कई बार कि हर चीज के लिए यू कांट एक्सपेक्ट हिम टू वर्क और प्रोसेस. लाइक अभी के टाइम में माय बेबी इज लिटिल नोटोरियस. अभी जैसे स्कूल रिज्यूम हुआ है एंड ही इज लाइक थोड़ा जिद करने लग गया. वो थोड़ा सा ही इज लाइक अभी प्ले करना है, अभी स्कूल से डन हुआ हूं तो अभी आई वांट टू वॉच टीवी, आई वांट टू डू दिस, आई वांट टू प्ले गेम. सो आई एम लाइक trying to control him in certain ways unknowingly, and my husband is like, nahi, you can't do that. You need to let him grow like a normal kid. Like if we are going to the beach, I am like, नहीं इसको यहाँ नहीं बिठाना है सैंड पे, ये हो जाएगा वो हो जाएगा. एंड माय हस्बैंड वाज लाइक, नहीं, लेट हिम बी बाबा. ऐसा कुछ नहीं होगा, राइट? सो दीज थिंग्स आई हैव टू अडेप्ट slowly.
आवर
And
कन्वर्सेशन has now, we decided कि 1 hour के अंदर we'll wrap up, but it's been 1.5 hours, I think, at this point. I'm so sorry to
yeah,
cut you
yeah,
off,
no
but
problem.
I think we will do an episode someday, perhaps with him and your husband as well. Someday, let's see. And um,
He will do, but I'm not sure about the husband because he is camera shy.
that's okay. All right. So someday we can
Yeah,
definitely, do an interview um, with your kid, and it'll be really wonderful. I'm really sorry to cut you off. As much as I want to
no
get into
problem,
it,
no problem.
audience also have a limited attention
Yeah,
bandwidth.
yeah, yeah. And we have
Um,
to take care of that.
exactly. So, I just have two questions to
Hmm.
summarize and for this episode. One, a mother who's actively going through postpartum depression. Okay. What would you say to her? Second, a mother who is in the caregiving position for their child, whether the child is a preemie or whether a child is, going through any sort of difficulty and challenges, what would be your message to that? Because these have been two very, perhaps a third one will also be for a mother who is going through a miscarriage. So one by one, please let us know.
Yeah. See, so first one was like mother who is living with postpartum depression, right? So when you're living in a dilemma of your own personality and you are with a baby who needs you 24/7, maybe perhaps more than that if there is, right? While you're sleeping, you're conscious about the baby. While you're breathing, you think that okay, इसको ठीक से breathing हो रहा है कि नहीं हो रहा है, like those fear. I just want to say that uh, just try to acknowledge those symptoms in yourself and try to seek help from professional, as we were earlier discussing, that अगर आप हेल्प नहीं लोगे तो आप बेबी के हेल्प नहीं कर पाओगे. इफ यू थिंक दैट ओके, नहीं मेरा सारा टाइम इस बेबी को जाना चाहिए, ऑल माय एफर्ट शुड बी फॉर हिम ओनली, फॉर हिम हर एंड नॉट फॉर माई सेल्फ, बट लेट मी ब्रेक दिस मिथ दैट अगर आप अपने साथ कुछ सही नहीं कर रहे हो तो आप उस बच्चे के साथ भी सही नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि यू डोंट नो कब तक आप सर्वाइव करोगे. And in my case, I am lucky that time से पहले acknowledge करके चीजें, and we have addressed it and I got therapy and everything. But sometimes होता क्या है कि लोगों को टाइम पे पता भी नहीं चलता. तो पहचानने की कोशिश करो कि क्या सिम्टम्स है. अगर आपको लग रहा है कि कुछ ओड है आपकी पर्सनैलिटी में, आप पहले जैसे नहीं रहे, लाइक सी फॉर सम टाइम इट इज फाइन कि आप थोड़ा सा कंफ्यूजन में हो दैट ओके, I am into new phase, I am a mother now, you're processing it. Processing that is quite okay. It's a happy sad mix phase. Like आपको लगता है कि आपकी independence छिन गई आपसे, you're losing your own identity and everything. But अगर it persists for longer time, then please take help and try to work on your own self by yourself also with the therapist and with your own own efforts at because therapist can't be there 24/7. So you need to be there for yourself first and then think about the baby. Because see, बच्चे को आपकी जरूरत है, बट आपको भी आपकी जरूरत है. और अगर आप अपनी केयर नहीं करोगे, इन माय केस इफ माय हस्बैंड वाज सपोर्टिंग एंड ही वाज टेलिंग मी कुछ तो गलत है ये वो, तो अगर वो एक्नॉलेज कर रहे हैं और मैं नहीं करती, तो आई वुड नॉट बी सिटिंग हियर. आई वुड बी इन डिफरेंट फेज, राइट? सो हमें खुद पे काम करना बहुत जरूरी है. तो प्लीज, in case of postpartum depression, it can be cured with therapy and in many of the cases with medications also. So you need to seek professional help from psychologists, psychiatrists, all the professionals around you. Try to reach out for help. There is no harm for it, right? And with caregiving of a preemie kid, as you asked Srishti, like आप अगर caregiving कर रहे हो एक बच्चे की, even if he is a full-term baby, even if he is with disability or not, even if you're living away from your family, किसी भी तरीके से अगर आप केयर गिविंग कर रहे हो एक बच्चे की, किसी भी रीजन से कर रहे हो, तो आपको ये देखना है कि आपको कहाँ तक उसको बांध के रखना है और कहाँ फ्रीडम देनी है, राइट? एज वी डिस्कस अर्लियर दैट अगर आप हर समय, like as my husband said, surveillance camera नहीं है तो, right? If you will be there 24/7 with them, and you, I used to do one thing which I tell to the mothers who come to me, who are in caregiving, कि मैं क्या करती थी, I used to give stuff to my baby to eat and to play and hide myself, behind a door or somewhere जहाँ वो नहीं देख पा रहा है, and I used to see him कि कैसा behave करता है वो. And let me tell you, babies who are mentally sharp or mentally fit, even if little bit mental disability or any illness or something, they behave nicely when you're not there. They behave very 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 nicely when you're not there, because they know they are responsible for themselves. अगर कुछ ऐसा वैसा किया तो वो गिर जाएंगे, उनको हर्ट हो जाएगा, कुछ गलत हो सकता है उनके साथ. तो उनको वो सेंस अगर आ गई है, try to leave them for little time. आधे घंटे के लिए अकेला छोड़ दिया, then for give a meal and tell them to finish it, and just keep busy in your work. Try to do these things with them, because otherwise you will be uh, into them only. You will be losing yourself into them, and you will never realize it also until it's too late. So better to realize it and see कहाँ पे आप उनको स्कोप है छोड़ सकते हैं. वो सो रहे हैं तो even since last year, when he was 6, तब तक मैं पिलोज लगा के सारा बाउंड्रीज वगैरह लगा के उसको छोड़ती थी. और फिर मैं कहीं जाती थी। गिरा है वो एक दो बार, बट इट विल हैपन, इट विल हैपन। टेल देम that it is quite normal. This can happen with the this can happen with any kid. It's not कि वो ही है बस उनके साथ ये हो गया। चीजों को जितना नॉर्मलाइज करोगे अपने लिए और उनके लिए, उतना बेटर केयर गिविंग आप कर पाओगे, उतना बेटर लाइफ आप परसिस्ट कर पाओगे, राइट? एंड अबाउट द मिसकैरेज वन विच यू आस्क्ड, लाइक सी, इवन इफ आई से कि मैं completely बाहर हूँ उस चीज से, और मुझे लगता है कि मैं इस बच्चे की बड़ी अच्छी केयर कर रही हूँ, और उस टाइम पे मेरे साथ जो भी हुआ ये वो सब झूठ है, सब झूठ है, राइट? इफ आई से जब miscarriage होता है, इवन इफ 1 month प्रेगनेंसी, इवन इफ 5 months, इवन इफ 7 months, आई हैव फ्रेंड्स जिनके 7 months में मिसकैरेजेस हुए हैं, लाइक दे आर स्टिल, वो बच्चा, वो माइंड में रहता है, राइट? वो चाहे 1 महीने का हो या 7 महीने का, राइट? तो आपको बस ये देखना है कि वो जो था, वो जो बेबी था, आप कैरी कर रहे थे, नहीं हो पाया परसिस्ट किसी वजह से, किसी भी रीजन से, that was the destiny of that kid and your connection with them. It cannot take away your love for that kid, जो आप उन्हें करते। So just think, जो अभी सेकंड किड आपके पास है, जो जिस लाइफ में आप प्रेजेंट हो, वहां पे आप अपना 100% दो। लाइक यू कांट टेक अवे दैट पेन फ्रॉम योर सेल्फ, उसको निकालना नहीं है, let it be there, let yourself process it, but give your present attention to the kid you have in front of you, because इसका कोई कसूर नहीं है उस चीज में, right? This kid is not responsible for the things you have been experiencing before this kid. And sometimes I have seen mothers coming for therapy, that for this boy I have to get rid of that गर्ल किड आई हैड, ये चीज भी आई थिंक बहुत बड़ा डिलेमा है कि उस बच्चे का कोई कसूर नहीं है। एज अ मेंस मेंटल हेल्थ एडवोकेट वो चीज आ जाती है मेरे अंदर से कहीं ना कहीं, कि दैट मेल किड इज नॉट रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर दैट। उसने तो नहीं बोला था कि आप उस फीमेल यू नो जो फीटस है उसको आप किल करो और मुझे लेकर आओ। दैट वाज सोसाइटी, दैट वाज योर फैमिली एंड सोसाइटी एंड योर सराउंडिंग्स टेलिंग यू दैट मैसेज। सोसाइटी देती है वो जो norms हैं, right? Don't blame that kid, don't project these things on this kid, right? Just raise them in that way that आपको फ्यूचर में उनसे ये सुनने को ना मिले that I as a male kid is something superior and that female kid should not। अगर वो होती आपके पास तो आपको वो सब नहीं मिलता जो अब मिला है मेरे आने से। So these things go a long way। हम सोचते नहीं है इन चीजों के बारे में, राइट? जब आप शुरू से इन चीजों के बारे में सोचोगे तो इन लॉन्ग रन इन योर लाइफ यू विल सी हाउ इट गिव यू ग्रेट रिजल्ट्स to nourish your motherhood, to nourish that journey, and to not lose yourself while raising those kids. No matter full term, preemie, or special kids, or developmental issues, or any mental health disorder, anything, be it anything, it will
Hmm.
give you that courage to survive
Hmm.
in your life well, and it will give you that courage to raise those kids well. That's
Hmm.
it.
I think it has been a very, very beautiful conversation with you. And
Likewise.
it is, I'm sure that, so these are parts of motherhood that I mean, like, I think with all the women that I know so many women who've been through either abortion or miscarriage or some complication with their pregnancy, or at the least, every woman mostly has been through some extreme sort of a pressure from their family for um, you know the motherhood role, and a woman's
Right.
identity is so much dependent on her capability to be a mother, which is a whole different conversation. But
Right.
I hope this conversation helps anyone who is in a similar position. If anyone needs to ask any specific questions, please feel free to reach out to Hina. Her Instagram ID will be linked in the description box. Our email IDs also we can provide, I believe. And if you're going through similar things, reach out. A, B, if you need to find a therapist, regardless of what your budget is, feel free to DM either of us. We will find you a good therapist, whether it be whether you can afford like 600 per session, 1000 per session, 2000 per session. There are therapists offering sliding scale options, and we'll ensure that you are connected with a good therapist. um, Third thing, there are certain support groups that, if I'm able to find, I will link. Otherwise, maybe, Hina, this is one of the things where we could collaborate, that, any woman
Yes,
who's
I
going through
think so.
similar, yeah, we can start a support group. So if that happens, please follow our Instagram pages. We update everything there.
Yeah.
And yes, to support this, this nature of conversations which are no frill, which goes beyond vanity and aesthetics. If you want this to be a sustainable long-term initiative, it will happen only through support, by the means of sharing this video with anyone who can benefit from it, by the means of liking it, and also subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell icon, because each time I upload, you will not know that I've uploaded till you've not hit the bell icon. So I hope you guys support in this way. And thank you so much, Hina. And I am really grateful that I spent Mother's Day having this particular conversation.
Thank you so much for having me here, Srishti, and having this conversation with me on this very special day. And I am feeling very light.
I am feeling very um existentially satisfied. Like, okay, I did something. Yeah.
Something. Yeah, that's good. It's a good
Yeah.
feeling to get away with this. Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you
Definitely.
so much.
Okay. Guys, don't remember to engage with this video so that it can be a sustained long-term initiative. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next episode.